There's something happening inside you. Not a breakdown, not a crisis you can name. It's quieter than that. It's the feeling that who you were last year doesn't quite fit anymore. That's some version of you, and you can't tell if you're growing or disappearing. This is what your 20s actually feel like for a lot of people. Not the version on the highlight reel, the version at 2 a.m., when you're wondering why something that used to feel like you doesn't anymore. You used to know how you were in conversations. You had a way of being in the world, a rhythm. Now you catch yourself performing, adjusting, shifting, depending on who's in the room. And then alone, you go quiet, and you wonder which one is actually me. Psychology has a name for what you're experiencing. It's called identity diffusion. It was first mapped by developmental psychologist Erik Erikson, who described the core tension of young adulthood as identity versus role confusion. He believed that sometime between late adolescence and the mid-20s, we enter an active, often turbulent phase of identity formation, a period he called a psychosocial moratorium, a necessary pause, a place to try on selves before committing to one. But here's what he didn't fully anticipate. He didn't anticipate the internet, the constant comparison, the curated lives of people your age, building companies, getting married, moving across the world with an apparent sense of direction that feels completely alien to you. The moratorium that was once a quiet, internal wandering has become a loud, external performance. And inside that noise, something fragile is trying to be heard. Let's slow down for a moment, because before we go further, there is something you need to hear. You are not fragmented because something went wrong. You are fragmented because something is happening. In 1966, James Marcia expanded on Erikson's work and identified 4 identity statuses: identity foreclosure, identity diffusion, identity moratorium, identity achievement. The people who felt the most lost, who sat longest in moratorium, often arrived at the most integrated, flexible, and authentic identities. The confusion was not the obstacle. The confusion was the path. What you're experiencing is not a flaw in your wiring. Your brain is rebuilding. Your brain has a region called the default mode network. When you're not focused on a task, when you're daydreaming, reflecting, wondering who you are, this network activates because its job is to construct the narrative of you. It pulls from memory, from experience, from emotion. In your 20s, this network is unusually active, and here's why. The part of your brain responsible for long-term planning, value-based decision-making, and sense of self doesn't fully mature until around age 25. You are navigating the question of who you are. Imagine you're trying to read a map, but the map is being drawn as you walk. Every step updates it. Every new relationship, every failure, every choice adds a line. The disorientation you feel is not because you're lost, it's because the map isn't finished yet. Psychologists call it self-concept clarity, is lowest in the early 20s, and gradually strengthens through lived experience and reflection, not through figuring it out, through living it. Here are 5 principles. Principle 1, stop trying to be consistent. We admire those who seem to know who they are, and we distrust our own fluidity. Principle 2, treat your life as data, not verdict. Every experience you have right now is information. Principle 3, protect your input. Your identity is partly constructed from comparison. That's not vanity, it's psychology. Principle 4, do the thing before you feel ready. Research in behavioral activation, a cornerstone of cognitive behavior therapy, shows that action precedes feeling. You don't feel motivated and then move. You move and motivation follows. Principle 5, make peace with the threshold. Anthropologist Arnold van Gennep introduced the concept of liminality. A liminal space is a threshold. the place between who you were and who you're becoming. Your 20s are liminal space. You weren't meant to live on the threshold, you were meant to cross it. Think of identity not as a destination, but as a river. The river doesn't know where it's going in the way we think of knowing. It simply responds to the landscape, carving, adjusting, deepening. What's happening to you, this quiet unraveling, this search, this strange feeling of standing between two versions of yourself, this is not a sign that you've lost the plot. This is the plot. And the people who move through it with the most grace aren't the ones who figured it out fastest, who stayed curious instead of panicked, who let themselves be shaped by experience rather than defined by fear. You don't need to resolve this today. You need to move, to stay honest, to keep asking. The river doesn't stop to wonder if it's going the right way. It just moves. So do you.